Right here with Coach Jim Miller out of Las Cruces, and third day of August, so that's the second practice of August really. And if you could just talk about the tempo and how things are going for you guys so far.
Real good. I think the kids, this year's group, got a lot more experience than we did last year. Of course, in that 2008 group, senior-dominated group, and last year a lot of these kids were young and really didn't see much of the playing field as starters. And this year, we got quite a few back. So, I think they understand it. They were there in 2008 through that year, and I think that's huge for them to, get a little bit of that state championship flavor in there, if you want to call it. But these kids are hungry. They know what it takes. They've been working real hard, and we're excited about the year.
If we could start on the offense and just talk about key returners.
Got some good skill kids coming back. Of course, our quarterback's coming back, which is always huge in our offense. Every time we have a two-year starter, it's been pretty successful, especially that second year. Burma's been as a varsity guy since a freshman. We had some injuries there, so he's been on the varsity squad since he's a freshman. He's played a little bit as a freshman, as a sophomore, of course, behind Dante. Now last year he was a starter, and this year we expect great things from him. Xavier Hall, of course, James's little brother, is coming back. This year he knows his role. Last year as a sophomore he really didn't. With seniors in front, so he still rushed for almost 1,000 yards as a sophomore and did a great job. He's a little different running back than James. He's more powerful than James. He's a little bit more aggressive. Maybe not as fast and quick, but and then of course with the complement him, we got Daniel Martinez, 4'5" kid that can just get out there and scoot it out there a little bit. So we're excited about that. Got a couple fullbacks that we can put in there in our deuce formation. Receiver-wise, we got Josh Watson back, all-district kid. Expect great things from him. His speed has increased tremendously. He's about 6'1" now. Expect good things from him. Tanner Shoemaker, another 4'5" guy, can make some big plays for us offensively. And in our offensive line with Robbie Trigo, he's going to be a two-way guy. He was an all-district guy as a defensive tackle last year. Ramon Jimenez, we got Mark coming back. So we got a few guys coming back. That offensive line needs to gel. They're doing a real good job in the offseason, and we expect good things from our offense.
I know kind of the big question coming into this season was replacing some of those key offensive linemen that you guys lost. Talk a little bit about Ramon Jimenez, and is he a player that has upside? We talked a little bit about it, but just talk about what he brings to the game and talk about his size and his upside.
Definitely. He's about 6'5", about 235 right now, and he's got probably a 7-foot wingspan. He's got tremendous upside. He's worked real hard in the offseason to get where he wants to be as a defensive tackle. And you can't coach that. You can't coach size. You can't coach that arm span. And he's doing a good job with our schemes. He's been in our system for 4 years. And like I said, he's going to be a first-year starter, but we expect great things from him.
Switching over to the defense, I saw some new faces out there, but one that I was really impressed with was Segovia. Right, at that defensive end position, looks very athletic. If you could talk about him and then some other defensive players that can make impacts this year.
Yeah, Jeff was a sophomore last year, so he started. He was a little green last year. Didn't really know him. Am I starter? But he did a great job last year, and that 1 year is just so huge on the varsity just to learn those schemes and know what he's doing. But the thing about Jeff, he's very athletic. I mean, he's he reminds me a lot of Mikey Bernal. Very athletic kid. Maybe not as tall as Mikey, but he's strong. He's quick. He's explosive. And he's going to make some havoc, and he's got a little attitude to him too. So he's got that defensive mentality. So we're looking for good things off the corner from him. Robbie Trigo, like I said, he's a returning defensive starter for us, tackle, an all-district guy. He's got a lot of confidence. He's gained about 30 pounds, and he's looking for a great year. We're expecting great things to anchor our defensive line out there. Linebacker-wise, we got Israel Baez, which he played some for us last year and got hurt a little bit. So he's got the schemes down. Jerron Cadena is another linebacker. He played a little bit last year for us. So our linebackers are shored up. We got 2 juniors behind them that we can go to, which we got some good depth there. Safety-wise, with Watson and Tanner, 2 returning safeties, which should solidify our secondary, with Daniel being a returning corner. And also we got some new faces out there with Kenny Richards. He's a 4'6" guy, so we got some speed in the second. I mean, you look at our 2 corners with Daniel and Kenny, and our safeties with Watson and a Shoemaker, and all those guys are probably 4'5", 4'6" kids. So we got some speed out there, and we're, defensively we should be able to fly to the ball.
One player that seems to get overshadowed kind of as I talk about prospects during the state is Jeremy Burma. But I mean, you look at what he brings to the table, you look at his numbers, you look at his IQ on Friday nights, and I mean, he's just a big time player. Talk about Burma and just, you know, talk about his progression just kind of over the years, kind of going into his senior year.
You know, it's been fun to see. You know, he's learned, and it's neat to have, you know, Dante as a quarterback and to learn from. You know, you see in the NFL, you see in colleges, you know, they're behind people. You know, Matt Leinart saying he was behind, you know, Kurt Warner and stuff. They learn so much, and that trickles down to the high school level too. And Jeremy's such a bright kid and such a smart kid that he's just not going to sit back and not learn. He learned what Dante did, his work ethic, and what it took to be a champion, what it took to be a state champion, and the work that it puts in there, you know, the preparation and those type of things. And when you tell him, I tell him as a head coach, and you know, he takes it, he understands that. And just to see his progression from his freshman, when I think he probably benched maybe the bar and two tens on each side, to now benching 240, 50 pounds, in his speed and his grasp of the offense. You know, he's become a more leader, vocal leader. You know, you can't be somebody you're not, but he is somebody. You know, he's getting out there, he's getting on the guys, he's leading us offensively, he leads us in sprints. It's really deja vu of you look at those kids when you have a James Lopez and an Isaac Gomez. You know, those two guys were always next to me when we ran sprints. Those guys are always the leaders out there, not just vocally, but, you know, on the field too. And it's such a pleasure to coach kids like that.
Lastly, just kind of highlighting, looking at the schedule, we got El Dorado from El Paso, always going to be tough. Cibola, Volcano Vista, Hobbs, Rio Grande, Artesia, Gadsden, Oñate, really no breaks, you know. And you know, if you could talk about just your thoughts on the season, and you know, kind of from start with Clovis to end with Mayfield.
Exactly. You know, you look at our schedule, we got some new faces. I think the only two teams that we had, El Dorado talked to their coach. They wanted to keep us. Of course, we want to keep them. You know, you always want to have a tough pre-district schedule. They're probably going to be the top-ranked team in El Paso. Cibola's got some great kids. Volcano Vista got some great linemen. Hobbs, of course, are probably going to be the most improved team with Coach Dollar over there. And Rio Grande's got a lot of speed. Artesia's back, looks like, with a lot of speed with their quarterback. And you know, of course, Gadsden's got much improved kids. And, you know, like you said, Oñate is going to be a little down, but Kelly does a great job over there. Alamo's got some good kids, and of course with Mayfield. So our schedule's tough, and I think not just ours, but looking around the state, I think those top 5 teams, even the top 10 teams, if you look at it, got really tough schedules. And I don't think anybody's going to go undefeated. I think some teams are going to, you know, get beat by other teams, and vice versa. And I think it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So I think if we can stay healthy and we get through and we learn from these pre-district games and we get in our district, and I think good things can happen.